Let's talk to Yogi.
Sad passing of Yogi Berra. Berra?
Yeah, are you doing a Yogi Berra
what's up,
tribute?
guys? Do I look all right? Am I doing
You
okay?
look good, but are you doing a Yogi Berra?
You
Are you doing a Yogi Berra tribute?
You know Yogi Berra just hung out in the bathroom?
Oh yeah, you know me, just chilling in the B room.
Yeah.
Nice and
Yeah, in the
good.
Yogi B room.
Yeah, we know you.
Yogi B raps. Do it.
You
So
look
I gotta
like,
say,
yeah, you look like Matty B's cousin.
hey,
do
you
you
know
do
me,
any songs?
your boy Yogi coming off.
Maddie C.
You
Off
look
and
like
on.
Matty C or D,
C stands for crap.
but he looks like Matty A to me. Anyway, what's up? What's the point?
So there's something I've been thinking about, on the topic of Star Wars. I got Star Wars on the brain.
Hell yeah.
How did you know about it? Because I thought that was kind of like just my thing.
You're
thought it was
not the
only
only
me.
one?
I don't know. Someone told
I
him.
thought it was only me.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So like looking back at it, the original movies were such like genre defining, like, top of the level stuff, and they hold up. They're still great movies, and going back on it, it's like I'm thinking about what made the prequels so like eh. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing happened. You knew what happened.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
No, they.
It was
like-
all explaining, no showing. You already
Like-
knew where they went because they explained it in 4, 5, and 6. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah,
they
right.
work.
What-
Political blockade bullshit.
Yeah.
They were also overpacked with political bullshit, bad characters, and like storylines that ultimately
No one
made
cared about.
no impact or emotional connection to
Yeah,
the viewer.
I've said it before,
Exactly.
but they didn't play with your expectations.
Not
and
at all.
That's what a prequel has to do to be interesting. And
Yeah.
I've used the kind of a joke example before, but when me and Derek talked about it, that movie should have started with someone different named Hi, I'm Luke Skywalker. And you're going, how the fuck? That's not Luke. It should have had Obi-Wan die or something. Just stuff that's like, how can this possibly match up to those? That would have been exciting. It didn't do that at any point at all. So what was the point? I mean, there's a couple neat sequences in those. There's a couple neat cutscenes, and that's it.
Yeah.
It
Exactly.
follows the most linear path.
Yes.
That, like, you already know what happens. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You don't see anything
Who gives a
until
shit?
the end
Who
of
gives
the
a
third
fuck?
one. That should have been the beginning of the first one.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
There's some awesome, as I said, cutscenes in the third prequel.
Oh yeah.
And I say cutscenes. The Bat Commander from the Aquabats summed that up, and I thought he said it perfectly. He's like, there are scenes that are awesome because they're like cutscenes. It's come in here and see this. Whoa!
General
Without
Grievous.
a movie
Yeah.
to make
Sick-
them great.
Sick ass General Grievous cutscene.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
ju-
Yoda fights.
hey, when they're putting Vader together, the moments of that I think are great. Everyone's gonna yell about the no thing, but there's such great parts of that, and there's some
No.
great parts here and there,
Don't
and then,
yell.
but then that's it. There isn't a movie to make it all. Anyway,
Yeah, I think they have like really good like moments about it. John Williams coming out with
John Williams
the dual
delivered his A game as usual.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And I can really appreciate like Darth Maul. That was such a cool character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like even the lightsaber
even
battle, it's
Why?
like
even
He wasn't?
even
Why?
his
He looked
but
cool?
but
Because
even
he was fun to watch.
but he was fun to watch. But it's exactly what I
Yeah.
just said in a cutscene way. It
Yeah.
was look at this fucking crazy guy fight these guys.
Exactly.
And that was entertaining. But
He
it's
had a double lightsaber, and that was the coolest thing about him.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the most. But unfortunately, that's the most we could say. Watching the prequels again not that long ago, I really realized there is one character out of all of it that actually develops in an interesting way where it's like, wow, they had a whole arc.
Ben
and that paid off.
Quadraneros.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't Ben
Odie
Quadraneros?
Mandrell.
It was Odie Mandrell.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going Quadraneros.
That's gotta hurt. No,
we
no.
saw him a lot.
Honestly, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi actually has, hey, I'm learning, I'm doing this. Whoa, I have all this responsibility. I can do it. Oh, this is all kind of going wrong. Well, I'm going to try to investigate this. Whoa, this went way wrong. Hey, I'm going to really try to set this right. Oh my God, I failed. I failed so bad. Hey, we need someone to like go off forever and watch over somebody in hiding. It should be me because I don't deserve anything else. Okay. And then you get his ending in the original movies. You get him confronting what he did and just going like, I accept it. Like that is an arc. That is the only person in all of it that it was like,
Rocco,
okay.
That's the only arc.
And
Yeah.
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
That makes that like
It
so interesting.
I watched them all recently, and that was the one thing I got. I watched it with somebody else, and it was the one thing I got out of it. It was like, shit, I really never realized that. Like, he kind of stays a good character.
Yeah.
He's kind of interesting throughout it.
And I like...
Because I remember even Attack of the Clones is so boring to me now, but I still kind of like Obi-Wan sleuthing around and stuff. Is still kind of, because I like that character.
I like Ian McGregor too. As
Yeah.
an actor in those films, he was, I think,
did
the
a good
shining.
job.
I think that's the only reason that character is, or that at all that you have an arc with that character.
Sure.
Is Ewan McGregor.
Sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my
There you have it.
2 cents.
15 years later, back from
Jesus.
Star Wars Prequels.
Yeah, somebody
Wow.
said in the chat, I promise you, kind of backing up what you said, I promise you Lucas didn't write Obi-Wan that way, and it's purely by accident.
Exactly. Absolutely. It totally is.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for your call.
Yeah, see you guys.